Well, hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Confused Breakfast Podcast. Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
I do.
The excitement of walking down the aisle, scanning the names in the artwork, and finally picking out the movie you're going to take home with you. Sure, it's hard to beat the ease of the modern era and streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your couch, but there was something truly special about making that trip, picking a movie out by hand, and rewinding the part where Tawny asks to borrow Bernie's boat to go skiing. On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from that magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. I'm your host, Mike Schulte, and joining me as always, two schmucks on the 6 o'clock ferry, Sean Pryor and AJ Vance. How the heck are ya?
My eyes are open. Doesn't mean I'm alive.
Yeah.
So
I figured sunglasses would be apt for this.
Are you going to wear sunglasses the whole episode?
I might, I might not be able to read. So.
Our boy Josh Ross. In the studio.
Josh Ross.
I hope you're listening, buddy.
Love you.
Okay, boys, it is time to introduce today's movie. On this episode, we discuss a movie that proved that you can make an audience laugh at any topic, even death. A movie that, whether we knew it or not at the time, got us all ready for the perils of corporate America. The only 80s movie that inspired a dance craze in the 21st century. We're, of course, talking about 1989's Weekend at Bernie's. The Bernie, which is not from this movie, but we'll get
whatever it is.
You know.
It is.
And for those looking to find this one, as of the recording in mid-May 2002, I found it on Prime membership and YouTube TV. So
Nice.
It is available if you have those subscriptions.
Definitely.
So in order to properly dissect and review this movie with a modern eye, we must first discuss it with pure nostalgia. AJ, we're going to start with you. Tell us the first time you saw this movie and what your nostalgic rating is.
I've
never seen it.
I've never seen it. No, I
Not
have
again.
seen it. I have seen it, guys. But it was definitely a TV watch, and it was during the summer.
Oh, yeah. It's always a summer movie.
It's a summer TBS movie. Like, that's what it is. We're back to Weekend at Bernie's.
Starring John Travolta.
Yeah.
They played Weekend at Bernie's every day of the weekend on like a Memorial Day or something.
Heck yeah.
Back to Weekend at Bernie's for your Weekend at Bernie's.
You know how we do Christmas Story for 24 hours? Well, we do Weekend at Bernie's all year
all
long.
all summer. But every single time I would watch this or I would catch it, if there wasn't somebody else sitting there with me, that channel got changed. I'm going to be real with you guys.
No.
I'm going to be real with you guys. I was just like, I don't get it. Like, why is this guy like a puppet? Or like, is he sleeping? I don't understand. And then like, I think one of my brothers or maybe one of my parents, like, no, he's dead. And it's like, oh.
That's the joke, AJ.
Oh. Oh, this is really weird.
There's going to be some reviews that are probably going to be just like that.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining it right now.
And well, we'll have to get there. But
What's your
my
nostalgic rating?
My rating is honestly, I'm gonna be generous here. I'm gonna give it a 3.8.
Nice.
Sean, what about you, man?
Yeah, back in the day, it was just like on probably TV, probably TBS of the Weekend of Bernie. And I remember seeing the scene of Bernie just like on the couch. I think it's when they first discover him dead. And then they're like messing with him, and I was like, What's going on?
What is this?
Is he just passed out or something?" And that's all I've seen of it.
That's it. You never decided, you're never like, I need to dive in further to see what's going on.
Never seen this movie in its entirety. I've just seen that part. So this is a first for me, and I can't really give it a rating.
I'm really glad that this is why we started this podcast, is to force Sean into watching movies like this.
Watching
it
movies.
Makes me, because guys, I am a 9.5 nostalgic
Oh my
rating.
God.
This movie was like, for some reason, my family would watch this like before summer vacation. We'd be like, "Oh, it's summer. We're going to Florida." And like we would watch this movie and we would quote it. My grandma, I've mentioned her many times. My dad's mother has the best laugh in the entire world. Had, R.I.P. Gloria. But she would laugh so hard at this. Like this in Great Outdoors, where like her laughing made you laugh even harder. Because like just so many scenes. I mean, we wore this VHS out just over and over and over. So I nostalgically am a 9.5.
Wow.
Nice.
We'll see how it changes. But that takes us to a group nostalgic rating of 6.65.
All right.
Which puts us right above Bloodsport and right below Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Blood spurt territory, huh?
It's right in the Bloodsport
That's some
territory.
good stuff.
All right.
Well, hey, if you guys missed our bonus Top Gun Maverick episode, then you missed the big news on why these hot pepper products are sitting on our table today.
Ooh.
We have a brand new sponsor of the podcast called Pepper Joe's. If spicy foods fan your flames of hunger, Pepper Joe's has exactly what you're looking for. From salsas and jerkies, sauces and spices, and more, you're sure to find the spicy snack you're craving. They can also send you your very own hot pepper seeds to grow your own hot pepper plants.
Pretty cool.
That's rad.
If you don't want to mess around with growing it, they will actually send you the plant itself that is ready to go and that you really don't have to cultivate from scratch. You can just start growing it from there.
All you plant moms and plant dads out there, that's something fun.
Yeah.
I'm about to become a pepper daddy.
Yeah, dude.
So, like ghost peppers, Carolina Reapers, habanero, scorpion, cayenne, jalapeno, and more. From mild to extreme, they have you covered. So they hooked us up with a huge box of their incredible products like this tropical habanero hot sauce, sweet peach salsa, and mango habanero beef jerky, which, by the way, is unreal.
It's so good.
We have a hilarious new segment that will take place later in the show where we're going to give you a hot take about this movie while consuming very hot things. Very original.
Yeah.
No one has ever done anything like this.
No one's ever
So
done.
stay tuned. Because of Pepper Joe's, because they're a new sponsor of the show, Confused Breakfast listeners get 10% off their first order with promo code CONFUSED. If you're ready to spice up your life, head to Pepper Joe, singular, pepperjoe.com and use promo code CONFUSED at checkout for 10% off. pepperjoe.com, link in the show notes and on our website.
Nice. Do it.
Damn.
So next it's time to learn all the pertinent, important details of the movie. Sean, that's your job. Let's hear it.
Produced by Victor Dre, and Bruce McNeil. Written by Robert Klain. Cinematography by Francois Potat. Music by Andy Summers. Edited by Joel E. Chapman. Stunt coordinator, wanted to get him in there. Conrad Palamisano.
Oh, yeah.
Directed by Ted Kotcheff. Weird movie for him because he is kind of a more of a manly
Didn't he
man
do Rambo?
director.
First Blood?
He did First Blood, and an Australian movie called Wake and Fright, which is a kind of a sleeper cult kind of movie that I implore everyone to check out.
Didn't he then get into like softcore Cinemax films?
That, and then he did a bunch of
Oh.
TV, but like he made like one of the most quintessential man movies
Yeah.
of all time.
And then he's like, let's move on.
This is such a weird departure from
Yeah.
him. But the cast: Andrew McCarthy, Jonathan Silverman, Catherine Mary Stewart, Terry Kisser, Don Kaiser, Don Kalfa, Catherine Parks. Weekend at Bernie's was inspired by a Hindi movie called Just Let It Go, Friends. That's all I have about that.
All right.
Originally titled
Yeah, that's why we get Sean on it.
originally titled Hot and Cold.
I don't like that.
It's just weird. Like Weekend at Bernie's is such a better. It's more apt for the type of movie that it is.
Yeah.
The film was originally written for Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
That's
but
insane.
the producers wanted older duo. They would have been a lot more bankable, I would imagine.
I think that would have worked out. In fact, you know what? I had an idea. What if on our Patreon episode we do like recasting of this movie?
Yeah,
I'm okay with
Because
that.
I think there is some very cool people that could have been cast in this movie.
Definitely.
I already have my main two guys.
Yes.
You will hear my awesome take.
Corey Haim and Corey Feldman.
Nope.
John Cryer was originally in mind for the role of Richard.
I like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the scenes were just improvised on set, like the Monopoly scene and throwing Bernie off a deck. They had the script, and once everyone got on set, they kind of just threw it out.
This
Sort
would be
of.
funny if we did this.
Some even crew members came up with some stuff to do, and they're like, "Okay, let's just shoot it. We'll figure it out." I think that's kind of cool. Weekend at Bernie's was released on July 5th, 1989, on a budget of $15 million. The film made $39 million at the box office and garnered one sequel. That's all I got on this. It's not much, but
I have a question. Have you both seen the sequel?
no.
No.
Okay. At the end of this, I'm going to ask you to come up in your head, as truthfully as you can, how they managed to do that a second time. Kind of like Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to do that again?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you that at the end of this episode.
Put him on
Okay.
ice for 4
I'm
years.
just going to ask you.
Okay.
So before we get into the film review, AJ did some research for us, and he has some ratings and reviews to share. What do you got, AJ?
We got one place, just like Bernie, throughout this entire movie. We're looking for the tomato meter.
Gross.
Bernie's a splat,
Yeah,
boys.
Oh, yeah.
Bernie's is a splat. That's fine.
Splat
I
throughout
the
understand.
movie.
I understand.
Yeah, 54% on the tomato meter. It is a
Not
splat.
bad.
You want to know where that takes us? So on the tomato meter of all the movies we have done, you said 54%.
54.
That is a tie with Fast and Furious, as
Nice.
far as the critics are concerned.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, that is a tie.
That is a fun double feature.
I don't want that double feature.
So
I'm
here's-
going to be honest with you.
We're gonna get a soundbite that just Mike goes, "This is where it is on our list," and then he just goes, "That'd be a cool double feature."
double feature.
I'll let you know if it is or not.
Yeah. The audiences agreed pretty close. It was 57%. They spilled their popcorn on the way out.
Yeah.
And then of course IMDb gave it a 6.4.
That's pretty low. That's bottom 10 for anything we've done on IMDb. That is slightly better than Red Dawn as far as the audience is concerned.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's,
I'm there.
Okay.
You're there.
Well,
Oh.
that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in
Yep.
today.
Thanks, guys.
I saw some pretty bad critical reviews out there, so why not start with the Rolling Stone? All cast members seem willing to make total fools of themselves for our delectation. Yes, a fine but futile gesture. The bad news is that even with such yaman effects, oh boy, sorry. The bad news is that even with such yaman efforts, it's still impossible to drag one tired joke around for nearly 2 hours. Like Bernie, the movie ends up dead on its feet.
Is that Peter Travers?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah. How'd you guess
Rolling
that?
Stone. He writes for
Okay,
He
okay.
does all their film
He's the only
reviews.
writer. At
He's the
Rolling
only guy. He's been doing it for like 120 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. Hal Hinson at the Washington Post gave this a 37 out of 100. Weekend at Bernie's is an unfettered but uninspired one-joke movie. And, of course, Roger Ebert had to put his 2 cents in. 25 cents in at
Rajeev.
25 out of 100.
Does he
Weekend.
just time out? Does he just change his rating system every time?
I think so.
You said
Yeah.
you said 25 out of 100. The last time we had Rajeeb, he was like 4 out of 5 stars.
So call this 1 out of 4 stars.
but just pick one.
He
I know.
does. He does like the star. He does like
How
the
many
percentage,
thumbs?
and then the thumbs. It's like you only have 2 of
You've
them.
only got 2 of those.
you
and
can't
so-
go 1.5 thumbs like you.
Yeah.
yeah.
5/8 thumbs.
It's either 0, 50, or 100%. Shut up, Raj.
Shut up, Raj. Roll over again.
Whoa.
He's dead weight.
Weekend at Bernie's makes 2 mistakes. It gives us a joke that isn't very funny, and it expects the joke to carry an entire movie. That's what he said about it.
Okay. I mean, it's just written in the script for reviewers to have that comparison. You
Yeah.
know? It's like it's dead weight. You got to carry the whole movie on. It's okay. We
Also,
get
hey, spoilers. Bernie dies in this movie. We
Yep.
should tell people
it.
that.
yeah.
Oh yeah. If you didn't know,
Sorry, my bad.
let's do some. We'll do some. I'm only gonna do 2 here. I'm gonna give you a 10. And I'm gonna give you. I believe it's a 1. Let's see here. 2001. They said that this movie is hilarious. Rose 35 said, "This is one of the funniest films ever made."
Yep.
Sure, it's stupid and it could never really happen, but it is hilarious. The 3 main actors are great, especially Terry Kaiser, Bernie. The boat scene is the best. Anyone with a sense of humor will love this movie.
I'm with you, Rose.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. It's a 10 for sure.
I wanted to say this from another 10 out of 10 because I love the title of it. A film which contains humor that will never decompose. Unlike Bernie.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, you're doing it right. You're doing it right.
They did say the actor who played Bernie's corpse deserves an Oscar, as although he doesn't say a single word, it honestly seems like he is dead.
Terry Kaiser.
Yeah.
Terry Kaiser.
That is. I hope that's your hot take.
We're gonna find out, aren't
So-
we?
Yeah.
Because we got a Pepper Joe's hot take coming up, and we'll find out what it is.
We'll find out. This is a 1 out of 10 to kind of cap us off here, guys. Just horrible garbage, says Gil Gunderson in 2005.
That's a fake name.
I don't mind what he says because that name's amazing.
You might need a bleep button on this one for me, Mike, because there's a word I don't like to say in here.
Got it.
What a waste of film and all the chemicals used to develop it.
Wait, is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think so. Stupid plot, terrible acting, and totally unbelievable situations. Is everybody I don't like that word.
Say it. I'll bleep
Yeah.
it. Say it. I'll bleep it.
At
Do it again.
is everybody in this movie? I'm not saying it. I don't like saying that word. How can you not notice a dead guy? A dead guy who doesn't go into rigor mortis, doesn't have blood pooling out of the lower extremities, keeps smiling while dead, and keeps his mouth shut. The plot gets worse and worse, and as the movie goes along, at a dead pace, I might add.
Okay. I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of it. Dude.
Now I remember why I haven't seen this movie since it came out. Give your money to the bum on the street, and you'll feel better. Gouge my eyes. That's all capitals with exclamation marks. And just a warning, don't ever stand next to the box of the sequel. Your IQ will drop 50 points.
I hate Gil.
Thanks, Gil.
Thanks, Gil, for everything,
Gil
man.
Gunderson.
Oh, Gil. All right, that's all I got.
Well, we are seconds away from reviewing this movie scene by scene with a modern eye, but I first want to tell you about our amazing sponsor, Cedar Ridge.
Yeah.
Cedar Ridge Distillery was just named #1 selling bourbon in the entire state of Iowa for the second year in a row. If you don't know anything about Iowa, you understand that we drink a lot in this state. It's all we can do. There's no oceans. There's no mountains. We have terrible winters. We didn't even get a spring. We're just right into humid summer.
To be honest, it's kind of a bummer.
And it's like I think we actually went back to winter. I don't know what happened, but whiskey is clearly the drink of choice. So this is huge news for Cedar Ridge and proof that whiskey distillery is about to take the nation by storm. First Iowa, next Midwest, followed by world domination, just like the Confused Breakfast podcast.
Yeah, dude.
So you got to get on this train while you got a chance. You go to your local store, you pick up a bottle. If your local distributor doesn't have it, you can go online to cedarridgewhiskey.com. Order some right to your door. Bourbon being one of the most popular spirits in America, you cannot go wrong with the Cedar Ridge flagship bourbon. Maybe you're a Scotch guy. The quintessential single malt is like pretty damn good.
It's pretty good. It's real smoky. Love
but like
that
not,
flavor.
not too much.
I'm not a Scotch guy, and I can drink it.
That's what
How
I'm
about
saying.
that?
That's
How
what
about
I'm
that?
saying. And, of course, their amazing collaboration with Slipknot, #9, cedarridgewhiskey.com. So as I cheers my two friends and we consume some incredible Cedar Ridge whiskey, consider buying a bottle. Father's Day right around the corner. Dad's going to want some.
Yeah, daddies.
Maybe buy one for yourself if you're a dad, you know.
Yeah.
You won't be disappointed, and you'll make us happy. Drink responsibly. cedarridgewhiskey.com.
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 Well, boys, what do you say we go into work on a Sunday to try to climb the corporate ladder?
No.
We will do whatever we can to make our boss happy, even if it nearly gets us killed. Our boss will invite us out to the Hamptons where, spoilers, he dies, but he's still the life of the party. Here we go.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to play the reggae music. It's so
Some
it's so
like
fun.
it hot, hot, hot. So, Larry Wilson and Richard Parker are two low-level financial employees at an insurance corporation in New York City. While going over actuarial reports,
Yep.
Good job.
I'm not even going to try that again. Richard discovers mismanaged payments. Richard and Larry take their findings to CEO Bernie Lomax, who commends them for discovering insurance fraud and invites them to his Hamptons Island beach house for the weekend.
Like I said, like the reggae music gets me right in. It's very, very summery, and yeah, I'm already into this movie at this point.
It really portrays like how hot it is.
It does.
And it's not like it's not an important part of the plot. Like they could just go to work.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know why it makes it a summer movie to me is like how hot it is. The thing where he like walks up the guy's like, give me your wallet. And he's like, get out of here. and the guy's kind of like
Too hot for that, basically.
Just imagine him like going into a bank or like with a full team or something like that, like head to toe and like ski masks and everything like that. Like, give us all the money. It's like it's way too hot.
It's just way too
today.
hot.
He's like, you know what? You're right.
You know what? You're right.
I'm out of here.
and you get that traditional like hot enough for you. Like that's just it's such a New York. It just feels hot. It feels New York. And actually this summer I'm gonna start wearing my sunglasses like Larry does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
You notice that like the one ear and the other one hangs down. Can you demonstrate it? Do you know like you just kind of like and pull one ear off?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Like that's how he wears his sunglasses. I think I'm gonna start carrying them around like that.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
It's better than the Guy Fieri on the back of the head, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I think it's a better option.
Andrew McCarthy, like I love him in this movie.
He's
And
really fun.
Here's what's interesting. So I don't know if you read this. Apparently, he wanted to be, or no, they wanted him to be Richard.
Yeah.
Right.
The down on his luck and like because that's what Andrew McCarthy had been playing sort of up to this point, right? The last movie that would have come out would have been Mannequin.
Man,
It was like the year before where he's this, can't catch a break, and I'm just looking for love, you know, like, which is essentially what Richard is. But I'm assuming Andrew McCarthy as a real person was nothing like that. And he's like, no, dude, I want to be like the funny guy that talks shit. And
he blows it out of the water.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He is one of my favorite parts of this movie, 100%. I mean, it's hard not for him not to be. But I've always been a fan of Andrew McCarthy. I always wanted him in more stuff. I always thought he should have been like in Breakfast Club or like in some of these other John Hughes movies even. That he should have had like a bigger standpoint in the 80s even.
That point kind of reminds me of like the Cornetto trilogy guys, like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. How like in Shaun of the Dead, Nick Frost is like the more like idiotic one and like kind of the more unserious one, and he was that way again in Hot Fuzz and then in World's End. They switch up roles. It's very refreshing. It's kind of, I guess it reminds me of that.
You don't want to see people get typecast, and he was not typecast in this movie. He's like, no, I'm standing up for himself.
Yeah,
and he's got some moves too. Like they get into the office and he does that. He like jumps on the chair and the chair falls over. He rides it like a surfboard.
Yeah.
That's I couldn't do that right now.
A lot of the things he does in this movie, I'm like if I was an actor, I would want to play that role probably too. But it seems so like I'm 30 now. He was probably 32, but
he probably was.
I've got knee problems, and it just seems like everything that he does, I'm like I couldn't do that. I couldn't run like that for even 15 seconds.
Yeah, I enjoy everything he does.
All right, I'm done with this.
No, I said I'm gonna wear them.
Everything he does feels very natural. It feels like an improv moment, like the riding the chair, like when they're on the rooftop.
That probably wasn't in the script.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're on the rooftop and he's jumping around on all the stuff and like landing into the pool and like I don't know. A lot of the stuff and like him crumpling the papers with the tar on it.
If you are an OCD person, that is the worst.
It's like I like a mild thing about it. I don't like things to get like that to get dirty, and I'm just like not like all the papers ruined.
21. Okay, 42. Do you remember? You guys are not old enough because I am a little older than you. Cheers, man.
Cheers,
Do you remember that kind of computer paper?
Mm-hmm.
So it was called like continuous paper.
Yeah.
Basically, is where they were all connected together, and it would just keep unfolding as it print stuff out. And it wasn't vertical paper; it was width paper.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like 9.5 by 11 instead of 8 by 11 like we do. It's just weird.
They printed out like our ITBS forms, our bubble fill out things in that kind of form.
I'm sure a lot of test results came on that paper.
Definitely. Yeah, a lot of bad news on
a lot of bad news for me.
I thought you were gonna say, you guys, I'm a little older than you guys. I don't know if you remember it being that hot where tar melts.
Actually, I do.
I do. Yeah.
I grew up in St. Louis, and there was a lot of tar, and when it would get that hot, you could actually poke at it.
Yeah,
and pull the tar
on
out.
like playgrounds, like
I
in
remember
between
that.
cracks and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was definitely a hazard when I was younger. Yeah, it's like I'm playing with the tar,
and you would
probably not
step
a good
in
idea.
it. If you stepped in it, it would slide like it did for him too. He'd go, ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this: as many times as I've watched this movie, I was always assuming that they just went to the rooftop of their work.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think they left. I mean, like I think they left and like went to like Richard's place or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they're drinking beers and they're in completely different outfits now.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how they could just get on the rooftop of their work and do
right.
it. So it's just kind of weird. That's just weird for me because if they did leave, then why did they go to work in the first place?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I feel like that's Larry. I think that's just Larry's doing. It's just him like, no, we're leaving. We're getting out of here. Let's go. We're done.
I love how Larry just kind of exclaims what he's feeling at all times. Like I think they're in the office. He's like, I'm so unhappy. He just straight up just says it.
This sucks. I am so unhappy.
And then like when he's on the roof, they find out the error or whatever on those sheets of paper. And he's like, this is good for me. Yeah. This is good for me. I'm like, thanks for letting me know.
It's good for me too. It's good for us.
I feel like he doesn't. It's almost like he wasn't given a lot of dialogue, so he's like, "I'm just going to, like you said, exclaim how I feel."
The director's like, "Okay, come up with some dialogue to basically prove, like, tell us how your girlfriend just left you and how you're stuck in this job, and show us how unhappy you are." And he just goes, "This sucks. I am so unhappy.
I am so unhappy. There's no girls. It's hot. It's like, and I think the heat plays up to that too.
Yes.
It's really great to watch them be like just drenched
We've
and
all
just
been there.
horribly. And I think that also helps add to your point at the very beginning, Mike, is I think hot in the city is 10 times worse than being hot next to the beach.
There's no breeze.
So I was gonna say, there's certain movies like Cheech and Chong, like I think that's in like California, LA. There's certain amounts of like hot that you can like feel in a movie. You can feel this one, and New York hot seems like it's also like with the heat that gets on you.
Yeah,
is also just like trash.
It's a film.
It's like you automatically just stink like trash. I'm never been to New York and not from there, so let me know, listeners, if you know. It's true. Okay.
Producer Jamie says, yes, it is indeed
It just
true.
seems
Confirmation.
like the sunburn would also like give you a layer of sunscreen because it's just trash on you.
You make your own in the city. Okay.
Yeah.
Editor's note, you do not want to be in the fucking subway in New York in that kind of weather.
No.
Ugh.
It's horrifying.
That sounds disgusting.
This is just like ovens in the trains and stuff like that.
It's just like hot concrete is just like the worst vibe or feeling on the planet.
It is. So even more fashion stuff. The next day they go into work and you notice now all of a sudden this lobby is completely full of people.
I know what you're
The
gonna say.
dudes with the why do we not wear suits with shorts anymore?
I want to
I'm
so bad.
thinking that
now.
maybe we should.
I thought it was like I was like, oh, they're wearing shorts. It must be a casual day. Oh my God, they're wearing full jackets.
Yeah.
I think this was a thing in the late 80s that like in the summer you wore a suit, but it just was shorts
I
and
just can't believe that.
tall socks or something. Because like I think I might go for it next time.
I
Yeah?
can't believe Lomax would allow that. Like I'm
Loma-
sure there's
Lomax doesn't care.
different businesses in there and stuff like that. But
Oh, Bernie seems like a pretty fun guy.
He doesn't care as long as you get your work done. That's
Yeah.
fine. Don't question anything. We're fine.
my aunt is sick.
Dude, so if we're gonna talk about Andrew McCarthy too, like we've got to talk about Richard's character as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the character of
Was it
Richard.
Ted Silverman or something? I think his name.
Is Jonathan Silverman.
Jonathan Silverman. Sorry.
That part that you just talked about there is perfect.
It's so good. I like the build up. He's like, oh, there's that hot blonde, and she keeps looking back and everything. And then they get up to the office, and he's still trying to egg him on and everything. And all
They're
he can
blowing
muster
it.
up, is my aunt is sick.
She goes, what?
Her reaction is perfect. She's like,
and then he just walks away, and Andrew McCarthy's standing there, and he goes, and then he just leaves.
I guess it's better than like what I might do. It's just like, what's your favorite serial killer?
So do you like Halloween or?
You want to go to carve jack-o'-lanterns? It's the middle of summer. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
So what are you gonna be for Halloween this year? It's like it's July.
then Larry chases him down, and he says, "Don't flagellate yourself."
Yeah.
I never picked up on that. I've seen this 100 times. He says, "Don't flagellate yourself over this, Richard," which I had to look up. Do you know what flagellate means?
No.
The definition of flagellate is to flog, either as a religious discipline or for sexual gratification. It's like what? I feel like that was like it wasn't meant to be that word. It was just him trying to sound smart and like use a term.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make any sense. Don't flagellate yourself,
Flagellate.
Flagellate
I do it every night. What?
Sean. Excuse me,
okay.
what?
It's okay.
So if there is one thing, I'm not sure. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to call the prop card on this one. I was going to call it.
Okay.
But there's something, if we're going to talk kind of shit about a New York City summer, there is one thing that made me be like, I kind of wish I was there. I want to eat a hot dog from New York City street.
Yeah,
from a hot dog vendor on a New York City street.
Definitely.
Didn't that look awesome?
$2 or something like that, probably.
Yeah.
Or like back then, that's like 50 cents, AJ.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, $2.
Well, $2 then would have
Then
been like
that'd be about $4.79 right now.
Okay.
Actually, so, yeah.
I don't. I go backwards. I don't get it.
something
it's
about
okay.
standing there, like eating that hot in the background of all the tall skyscrapers. It was a cool. It just gave me a cool vibe for something this time when I was watching.
I agree. Like you just get like relish, just get everything on that hot dog. There's
Yeah.
something about like a street hot dog that's kind of better than any hot dog
Yeah.
you probably ever had. You know?
Ballparks and streets.
Yeah.
You don't cook them at home.
Exactly. Come on now. What are you doing?
By the way, I did look that up. I was damn close. It's like 266.
Pretty close.
466. Yeah.
479. Okay, inflation.
Oh God, I'm good. So actually, I mean, yeah, I think I was good.
It's about there.
So Sean, having never seen anything other than like a dead Bernie, what was your impersonation of first seeing Bernie on screen? Bernie Lomax in the office. They go to meet him to talk about this thing.
I knew it was him right away just because like the mustache and
Right.
everything like that. But he's also a great actor. Like in these scenes when he's alive, his timing's very good. He does seem like a dickhead, like CEO boss. I liked him a lot, and I've honestly never seen him in really anything.
He does have quite a catalog. In fact, I saw him the other day. I was rewatching Night Court. Okay, and like I'm a big fan of Night Court from my childhood, and he showed up as like a reporter. I was like, and he didn't have the mustache, where it's one of those like the power. So I'm going, who is that? Oh,
wow.
It's Bernie Lomax. Like he's well known as being a good actor, but this is his. I mean, like this was his. Everyone knows him from this, and it's kind of a shame because of how good he legitimately is as an alive actor. It's kind of a shame that he was dead half the movie because he was indeed fantastic as an alive dickhead boss.
I wonder if it was like a challenge that he wanted to take on himself as an actor, just being like, well, you're dead the whole time, but you're in the movie almost every scene, you know, but you just got to be dead. But when we get to it, his face when he's dead is every time it's on screen, I'm like, God damn it, that's funny.
Did you read, don't say it if you know it, but did you read how he came up with that face?
Mm-mm.
Okay, but I dove deep on this. I've got some details coming up.
Sean, how could you not recognize Terry Kaiser?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
he was in one of the Friday the 13th.
I was like,
wasn't he?
dude, he was in Friday the 13th part 7, dude.
I don't watch that one
Come
often.
on, dude.
I don't watch that one that much.
Isn't that like one of your favorite things ever?
Is that Takes Manhattan or
It's
the New Blood? Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course. Oh,
that's the
man.
one with the telekinesis and everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Not so lucky. Number 7. Oh.
Sean's not a fan of that one.
Man.
There was a funny moment for me too when they were hanging out and they're doing the thing with Bernie, trying to show him what's going on, and he's like, papers, bring them over here, and Larry brings over his gross papers, and he's like, oh, it's computer ink.
Computer ink.
But the best part is when Bernie's like, no, see, you're wrong here, and Larry immediately turns to look at Richard, and he's like, no, look at me. He like hits him. He's like, look, see, there were multiple. It's just totally normal. And he goes, Richard worked on that part, sir.
Yeah.
Like it's very unfortunate that he's like, God damn it, I'm stuck next to him.
In the
He's yelling
background,
at me.
Richard's like this. All that damn work.
It's like, is Larry a great friend or an awful friend?
I think he's an awful friend.
He an awful friend?
Yeah.
Okay. I just
I think he
wanted
is.
to know.
Actually, I don't think they're good friends. I
yeah.
think didn't they say they've only been working at the company for like 8 months?
Yeah.
So I think that's how they know each other is from working.
From work.
Yeah. So I don't think they've.
I started before you did, though. He's like, you started like 2 months after I did, Larry.
Yeah. They just can't keep it straight.
Bernie's like, I wish I had more of Bernie in me. You know how we're too nice here in the Midwest. So like if somebody's gonna tell you a stupid story, you're gonna listen to it. You're gonna go, oh yeah, because like Richard starts to be like, this one time I've never been on the boat, but this one time I was on the ferry, and he goes, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it just cuts him off and says, I don't have time for this.
Yeah, this is the last thing I want to talk about with you. I'm inviting you out to my beach house.
Yeah.
Don't tell me about your past experiences because I'm going to create new ones for you.
Yeah.
Okay? That's how we're going to do this.
I know you have never had this much fun is what I'm about to give you, so just shut your mouth. I am dying of your story.
Yeah, it's killing me.
All right, well, let's move this on. So, scene 2, Bernie is the one behind the fraud, and he asked his mob partners to have Larry and Richard killed. After Bernie leaves, the gangsters decide that Bernie should be killed instead. Richard takes his coworker Gwen out on an eventful date. Bernie arrives on the island before Larry and Richard and prepares the murder setup. The mobster Paulie arrives and kills Bernie. There's one thing that kind of tied these two scenes together that I wanted to talk about was how perfect of a juxtaposition it was to go where Larry's like, the man loves us. He absolutely loves us. And goes, you have to kill them, Paulie.
Hard cut.
You have to kill them, Paulie. Whoa.
We don't do that anymore, you know? We don't really do it like that anymore.
We get to like all the dead body stuff later on, which is so my comedy, just ridiculous shit. But even set up before all of this, that cut, I'm like, this is my kind of comedy. Like, I love that kind of shit where it's just like an editing kind of choice comedy bit.
Yeah.
And that it could only work like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
And like the whole scene before this where they're gonna get robbed, and he's like, "It's too hot." Like I love that. Like it's stupid and ridiculous,
It's
and I'm like,
80s,
I
man.
automatically know what this movie's gonna
Oh
do.
yeah, you know right away.
There's like a fine line with this type of comedy with me, and there are parts that it works for me, and there's parts that it doesn't. And like that part right there, hilarious to me.
The cut.
Yeah, the cut is very funny to me, and especially when you have the mobsters who are like, "Well, we don't really do it like that anymore." You know, it's like, we got to be a little bit more
We're
subtle.
diversified.
We're diversified. It's like that stuff's very funny to me. But then when you have like, not to jump way ahead or anything, but when he's like, they hear the when Bernie's hitting against the pillars and he's like, "You hear that noise?" "No, I didn't hear it." It's like, "There it is again." Huh? "Oh, Richard." It's like, no.
You don't like that?
That's the stuff that I'm just like,
Oh my
One
God.
of the things I like that it's not necessarily I don't like it, but makes me cringe is like the lying your way out of everything. With what Richard does,
Yeah.
especially with what's her name? Sorry,
with Gwen.
Gwen, and like literally everybody else in the movie. It's a good plot point. It like makes it. This film must have been like super fun to write.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it had to have been, because you could just have Richard lie to everybody and keep going with that lie until it's figured out. Then you have to figure out the next step
It gives
to do.
me anxiety, dude.
It gives me horrible anxiety,
Yeah.
but it like that's what propels the story along almost, is his perpetual
Because
lying.
Richard sucks.
Yeah,
like,
kinda.
He's not that
Richard
great.
kind of sucks.
You could literally just be like, hey, listen, Gwen, I do live with my parents. They actually have a really nice
Yeah,
place.
whatever.
Who cares?
yeah, like not a big deal. Not a big deal at all.
Did you catch that line? They leave Jaime's Hunan, and they're walking around the streets, and the garbage truck almost runs them over.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Hey, you want to throw her in?" The garbage man just goes, "Hey, you want to throw her
We're
in?"
in New York.
I didn't catch that. Oh boy, this
You
is
just want to throw. Oh yeah, okay.
At first, I thought he was going to Larry's house because he was like, all the cockroaches and shit. He's like, it's the cockroaches, isn't it?
They scatter when the lights go off.
Exactly. So that's why I thought he was like sneaking in,
Right.
like trying to turn on the lights, like
Yep.
kind of quietly. But no, it was his parents' house. And do you know who his dad was?
The
Ted-
actor.
Ted Kotcheff, the director.
the director.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
that's
no.
right.
Dude, you're right, because I read that Andrew McCarthy directed this scene.
Oh, really?
So
kidding.
I think yeah, so that makes sense. So the director Ted moved into the acting role, and then Andrew McCarthy got to direct this whole scene.
Oh, that's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. And he's good in it. He's like, he seems like he just wanted to get naked on screen. Also, what is it about? Like, is it just in movies, or is this in real life too, with just like old dads getting up at like 4 a.m. and what they go for is the milk?
The milk.
I
Like,
think
do
that's an
they
80s
do they take pleasure in just like their wife being like, "You always drink out of the carton"? Do they take pleasure in just doing that at night when they're not around? What is it?
I'm waiting for that TikTok trend to pop back
Yeah.
up. You know,
Yeah.
just
Remember
like,
the milk gallon challenge?
Yeah, oh, God.
Oh, that was some of the funniest.
Now
things
do it
I've
at 4
ever seen.
a.m. while everyone's sleeping.
correct.
And he's going, ugh. Oh, like he's scratching himself and drinking milk. He's really good in it because he perfectly plays this really nice, polite dad. Because he even comes in, he's like, geez, I'm so sorry. Good evening, young lady.
sorry.
Yeah, so sorry. But then he goes, Monroe, if you could put out my navy blue suit in the morning. Excuse me. And then he immediately turns to, how about I put you out? And then he stares him down for like 3 seconds. It's like he is a hard ass. He's a very polite man who has worked hard in his life to get to where he is, but he's also a hard ass. Don't cross him.
See all this mid-century modern gorgeousness in here? Yeah. I worked hard as hell for this, okay?
How about I put
Appreciate
you
it.
out?
How about I put
and
you
you're
out?
my dumbass 25-year-old kid is living with me.
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, no shit.
He didn't care. He's like, I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
Paulie is the perfect like hitman.
Yeah.
He's got the weird buggy eyes. The only thing I've ever seen this guy in besides this movie is one of my favorite movies, and it was one of my 5 in 1985, Return of the Living Dead. He plays the coroner in the embalming room and everything.
He looks like a coroner.
So
He's-
one way or another, he's dealing with death.
kind of, yeah,
Gotcha.
nice.
Okay, great.
He's really good in that, and I think he's actually really good in this too. Like he's super
is.
like over the top and fun about being
He goes,
this guy.
I'm a little rusty, but it'll come back to me.
I love the whole bit. He's like, "Why would this motherfucker die?"
I have seen him in a couple things. I'm not exactly sure everything that he is in, but I feel like he's in like Dr. Dolittle or something.
Yeah.
But just something little, like he's had like these little parts here and there, and it's his eyes.
Yeah.
You recognize his eyes, and I love him as a hitman, and he's good at it.
He's very good.
I feel like he's really good at it, and it's kind of sad that he doesn't think he's very good at it.
Because, like, dude, you did a
Gonna be
really
honest,
good job.
like,
Hey
the
man,
first time.
you're great.
This is amazing.
You're doing such a good job.
It was really good. I feel like he needed some good, solid feedback. You know,
He
and-
goes to a hitman therapist. He's like, it's fine. And like
you're fine,
like
dude.
goalies go to goalie
Yeah, right,
therapists.
right.
He's like, it's gonna be
No,
okay.
You're gonna be fine,
It's-
dude.
it's-
It's fine.
This wasn't your fault, you know. The blood got everywhere, but you know, you put your stuff down. You got it all. You got it all cleaned up. Just get back out there, fella.
just get out there.
Yeah.
There's great more summer vibes in this too, like when that summer music comes in when Bernie's driving his
Yes.
boat and they're riding the ferry. By the way, I've been on ferries before that have gone from tropical destinations to tropical destinations, 30-minute rides. There's no dance parties and cocktails.
Dude, it
on
was
ferries.
awesome, though.
Damn it.
It is sit down in your seat and listen to the safety briefing. We're going to try to get you over there as quick as we can.
This ain't no booze
It
cruise.
looks awesome, though.
It does look really fun.
Larry's partying his ass off and Richard's talking to old ladies. It's just so good.
It's like even a throwaway bit, like you don't know that he's been talking to this old
Goodbye,
lady.
young man.
Yeah, it's like he's been like, and then you realize he's probably been hitting on her this whole time, and that's hilarious. I don't know.
Oh, hi, I'm Larry. Hi, Larry. I'm Michelle. But then Bernie's. Did you see what Bernie's boat was named? It was called Premiums.
Oh yeah.
because he's
Yeah,
insurance.
Premiums, yeah.
like premiums paid for his boat.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Also, Larry. Did you notice how Larry always walks in weird places throughout the movie?
Like he always takes a weird route or
Yeah,
something.
so in the beginning when they came in the office, he walked behind the security desk and stepped over like an extension cord
Yeah.
that was taut to the wall.
Yeah.
And then when he gets off the boat, he walks like through the middle of a flower bed over a
Yeah.
railing.
Yeah, that's
He just walks in weird places. It was awesome.
Yeah.
He's like Paul from the Beatles. He's got to stand out or something.
Yeah.
I like Paulie's the hitman when he's like on the phone with Lomax. he's just adding to like his comedy hitman bit that he's doing. He's like, yeah. So where's your house?
Yeah. So where's your Bernie? We're on the phone here.
We're on the phone here, Barney.
So he gets there and he injects Bernie with, I assume, something fun.
We're assuming it never really says. It does say that what he plants on him is heroin.
Yeah.
So we're assuming that,
He just gave him a whole lot of it.
and that is the way he killed himself, was that he had way too much heroin and he overdosed.
I
Is what I think they're implying.
I also like that to be inconspicuous, Paulie wears like a preacher neck thing.
Pretty awesome.
I mean, he looks like he's a preacher from Miami Vice with like his, blue jacket on, just
The
walking
hat.
out. And later on, he changes.
It's the equivalent of a dickie, but for a priest.
yeah.
It is. I'm telling you, man. It's really good. He's really quick.
Yeah.
He was quick about it. I think it was kind the way he did it to Bernie. Seemed like he went out feeling pretty good.
Yeah, he had a
Bernie
smile on his
Sat
face.
right back down, smile on his face.
And that's where some of the issue lies with a lot of people. Is they're like, he wouldn't have his eyes open. He wouldn't be smiling when he died. It's like, well, maybe he was. Maybe that was the best 5 seconds of Bernie's life.
Yeah.
With that much heroin in his system, that's why he went, and that's why he wasn't rigor mortis, and that's why he was loose, and
Yeah.
that's why he was smiling. And
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
know.
that's the answer to everybody's like little gripes. Yeah. There's no way.
I've done heroin. And I was
Well, actually.
I'm listening to this right now while on heroin.
I do have one question.
heroin.
I do have one question though. Why? Okay, so the mobsters and Bernie were making money illegally off of the insurance company.
Yeah.
The two schmucks figured it out. So Bernie's like, we got to kill them so that we can keep making millions of dollars.
Right.
So why didn't the mobsters also let Bernie kill the two schmucks too, so that
Yeah.
Bernie's dead and the schmucks are dead, and now we can still make millions of dollars?
You would think that's
Yeah.
how it should have gone.
Right.
Like
But I don't know.
I understand why why he did it in for Bernie or whatever. Obviously, he must
Yeah.
have found out he's
Getting too careless.
Yeah,
too
well,
greedy.
too greedy with his woman or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Plus she's screwing
Cheating
a
on
woman.
him.
Yeah. So that's. And so he's got reason to do it, but at the same time, once he does this, doesn't he lose his contact for whatever this laundering bit is?
Yeah, because at this point they have no, And now Richard and Larry are still going to report the things to the company.
Exactly.
Maybe his plan is to like maybe shake Larry and Richard down and get them in on it. And so he has a new contact within the company. And if they kind of say no, then he'll whack them. But
I think that was about the worst decision that they could have made. Like, I get it. Like, yeah, knock him off or whatever.
Personal.
Eventually, yeah, he took it personal.
Yeah.
He let personal get in the way of business. That's what he did. That's what he did.
that's what they do.
That's what he did.
That's what he do.
That's what he do.
All right, so scene 3. When Larry and Richard arrive at the beach house, they find their boss's body. Before they can call the police, guests arrive for their planned party. To Larry and Richard's amazement, the guests don't notice that Bernie is dead. Later that evening, Vito's girlfriend Tina arrives at the house, convinced Bernie has been cheating on her, but she also fails to realize Bernie is dead. She leaves, and the night is over.
Why couldn't you wait until Monday to kill yourself?
Why does this always happen to me?
It's always about him. He just wants this good time.
Dude, and he keeps going too. Like he keeps just being like, "What kind of host invites you out to his house for the weekend and dies on you?"
Dies. You're like,
I mean, couldn't he wait till Monday to kill it? And he keeps going.
I guess you think about it. All he's thinking is that he did in fact overdose. He's like, you couldn't wait till we got here so we could like overdose together. Like, you know what I mean? He's just like he's just trying. He's trying to. He's upset because now his good time is ruined.
Yeah.
And by the way, he doesn't have a ride home.
So he said he was going to drive me home on Monday
on his boat. Like, yeah.
I do get it though. Like, I guess in my little selfishness in me is like, if we're out, like, let's say on a boat or something, I've been looking forward to it for like weeks now. I've been telling everyone around the office I'm going to go do this, and someone like breaks their toe and we got to go back. I'm like, God fucking damn it!
I know.
You had to break your toe.
It is one of those.
All you had to do was just chill, dude.
There's a point where you're like, when you're a kid, especially, you've been waiting for this moment. Like
Six Flags.
You've been waiting for Six Flags, but no, like
your brother got sick.
Somebody got shingles and like a chicken pox, and it's just like, God.
I love the way Larry says that. He goes, you know, I've been telling everybody around the office that I've been going to Lomax's house, and they're so jealous. Now what am I going to tell them? They were so jealous.
He's so jealous, and like.
Good God, that's a Liechtenstein.
What, the piano? No, this, idiot.
Well, and oh shit, what was I gonna say?
Oh,
no, it's okay. I was just thinking, just kind of the same thing. Don't act that if you were in this situation, you wouldn't have a shred of the same thought.
Oh yeah,
because let's pretend that they do call the cops right now.
Yeah.
They're going to be interrogated. Their entire weekend's ruined. They're not going to have a ride back home.
Yep.
It's going to be bad for them.
It's a bad time.
It's a bad situation.
It's a bad time.
But like and Larry, as this movie goes along, he's the idea man.
Yeah.
Like, especially like even after this scene, he's like, no, we got to get out of here. We got to go. He's like, wait, do you have an idea? I have an idea.
I have an idea.
What if we pretend he's not dead?
What if we pretend he didn't die?
He's on the phone with the cops. He's like,
911, yes.
Okay, but then Richard goes along with it too.
Well, Richard saw Tawny first in her thong, and then Gwen shows up.
Of course.
See, that was gonna be my point before that horrendous joke that I did.
I thought it was great.
Thank you.
I loved it.
It's
I didn't.
Like, thank you. But like him being the idea guy, he could have like come up with something like, we'll just like you swindle Gwen, and we'll like maybe we can stay with her, or like I can figure it out.
Leave.
Like, if he's such an idea guy, they can figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, they were 1 second away from this movie ending, because first of all, this room of people that has now arrived is the worst people in the entire world combined into one room, and they do a good job of that, of just being like, this person sucks, that person sucks, they all suck. And they all come into the room, but they're 1 second away. The tennis guy sits down and he goes, all right, 40,000, that's my last offer.
That's fine.
Bernie, he starts to notice that Bernie's dead, and they sit down. They go, hold up, we're gonna get Bernie, and we're gonna take him away. This movie would, and they would have been fine. They would have been off the hook at that point. Tennis guy would have been like, holy shit, Bernie's dead. They would have been like, what?
It's a good point.
Like, and the movie is over.
Then it could have been, well, then you just say we were Bernie's house guests.
We didn't actually talk to him.
We don't have anywhere else to stay actually this weekend. We were just and then the cops would be like, well, it looks like you partied too hard. There's obviously some sort of foul or bad things from heroin here. Blah blah blah. Well, we're gonna have to take him. Coroner takes him. Blah. We all leave this house and then they just stay and party the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
Good. Then they had the weekend at Bernie's house, and it could be weekend at Bernie's house, not weekend at Bernie. And that would be great.
At Bernie's house.
Weekend at Bernie's house, and then it would have been
Then
great.
it's just a hangout movie. And we just watch these two idiots hang out.
There you go.
Try and get pussy.
If we were on a train to go punch a face,
Okay.
I'm on board.
Yep.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Most punchable face
All right.
for me.
Yep.
All right.
If I could do a collective punchable face, it's the entire room of people.
Yeah.
But I can't. So I'm going to narrow it down to two guys. It's the overly drunk guy and his friend.
Yes.
The old guy that is like, polyester doesn't crumple.
Dude.
He goes, you that's a nice dress. It looked good on the floor of my bedroom, but polyester doesn't. I want to punch both of their faces.
Yep.
Immediately. They are the worst people in that room.
I'm with you. I think another one could be like the stuck up art guy talking to the other stuck up art woman. What was she like? Well, what's your film or book about? It's like whether if Laurel and Hardy were
secret or no?
who was it?
I can't remember.
Who's the investigators from Britten from back?
Oh
in the
yeah,
day?
it was Sherlock and Watson.
and Watson were secretly married.
It's like what?
Shut
I'm going to throw this one out there for you,
Okay.
and it's a little bit later on in the movie, but it's the kid who's burying Bernie.
No,
I think that's
I kind of
him.
like that kid.
No,
man.
I know he's pretty
Because-
punchable to me.
You talking to me? Well, fuck off. you can kiss this.
Yeah. As a kid actor, I liked him swearing. I liked his attitude. If he would have been like just like I would have been like, yeah, I'm pounding that stupid kid in the
I
ground.
felt like he was still pretty punchable.
It's your right to have
Yeah.
that.
You're right,
but
right.
every time we see a kid of about that age, in my head I replace him with Charlie and the Santa Claus,
Yeah.
and if he's better than Charlie and Santa Claus, I'm good with him.
Okay.
And this kid, of course, is better than Charlie and
Pretty
Santa
close haircut.
Claus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very much.
True. I'm on Mike's train. I'm gonna put both of them in there too,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
fucking they were at the same party. Fuck
Yeah.
them.
You're just
All
doing a super punch to
Yeah.
both. I like it.
There was another good line that I really love was when Larry goes over to the lady wearing like a Mickey Mouse hat or something.
I think it was the same. The writer. I think it was the same chick. Maybe.
Was it?
I don't know.
It
Anyway,
might have been.
Anyway.
And he grabs a cigarette and he goes, "Hi, I'm Larry." And she goes, "Fuck off, Larry."
off, Larry.
Yeah, that's so good. And then he just throws the cigarette.
Well, and then like speaking of Bernie, he's dead now at this point. Terry Kaiser's performance is such a standout. Especially the tennis guy.
Yeah.
The physical comedy aspect and the timing of that is so good because he sits down and he's like 40,000 and he sits down and the cushion like crumples and his head turns. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, 30,000.
And somebody sits on the back of the couch and his arm comes around him.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's so good.
And he's got that fucking smirk on his face. So the smirk on his face, right? Which especially starts in this scene, but it's the next day when it really when they're sitting in the lawn chairs. But Bernie apparently, they filmed a bunch of this where he was just dead. He was just a dead guy with a blank face, and it just wasn't working. It was not making people laugh. It wasn't eliciting anything other than, man, that's a dead guy. Like, why are they carrying him around like that? That's not funny. To where he basically said that he would get into character. He would sit down, he would relax himself, and then he would just go, like he would make that internally like an and it would create this smirk on his face that he would just then hold.
I love that.
And like immediately you were getting snickers. Like when they were filming, people in the camera crew were like, and they knew right away. They're like, oh my God, that face. That like, it's just there. It's perfect. And he talked about that on like an interview where he's like, that was how I had to come up with something.
Yeah.
Something had to look funny on me, and I didn't know what it was, and that's what he came up with.
Well, it does work too because everyone thinks he's partied out. So
Right.
it's like he's just like he's either high or just kind of perpetually drunk the entire time. So he's probably like,
Yeah.
like kind of just smirking and having a good time.
Well, and clearly he was a user of heroin
I guess.
and cocaine earlier when he goes into the bathroom and he comes out and he's like, He's like
Yeah.
messing with his nose.
Yeah.
So, and the girl comes over. She's like, "Yeah, here, you got something for me."
Yeah.
And she was expecting him to have drugs.
Yeah.
So like they're just like, "Oh, it's just fucking Bernie, dude."
Yeah. We have a house full of the shittiest people who don't even realize that there's actually a dead person. They can't smell him. Too much coke in their nose. I don't know what it is. Senses are dulled. And then that kind of dissipates, and then we have to talk about necrophilia.
Let's do it.
Let's just dive in.
Hell
and,
yeah.
And as we get there, how hard did you laugh at her entry into the house? Benny! She like slides around the door.
Yeah.
I don't know how you planned that.
She's like hanging on to the door handle as she slides in.
Bernie! Bernie!
She says it like with a Y. Bernie!
It's Boyney.
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 Blaney.
He better not be in there with another woman. I'm his woman. And he better be alone.
So one of our theories is he got a heroin overdose. Do you get super duper hard heroin users out there? Do you get super duper hard when you do heroin and just can't does it last 4 hours? Do you have to call more ladies?
Are we
how is
assuming
he hard?
This is rigor mortis.
That was my next thought.
This is where everything for Bernie actually got stiff.
But
It was
then,
all in
but
the
then it
pants.
unstiffs itself.
Yeah, you're right.
I just try to remember being like 8 years old watching this and just being like, yeah.
Why is she happy?
She went in the room and they like talked.
I'm glad they had a good conversation. That seems
Good.
good. Wait, he was dead.
The mobster seems concerned, but
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Whatever.
guy outside who's like watching, and he's just like, which is a great point of him thinking, oh, he is alive because they're having sex.
Yeah.
I actually think I thought that as a kid. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe he actually is alive.
Maybe he is alive, and yeah, and the shock or the further confirmation that she is cheating on
Yes.
Vito or whoever.
It
so
works for the plot.
yeah, it added to it.
How was it up there? Never been better.
You got a
What?
scotch?
Got a scotch?
Never been better. Oh, that doesn't bode too well for Bernie's performances. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Just gonna be honest with you, Bernie.
Bernie.
Wow, Boyney.
Boyney,
Usually if I lay there, I just get yelled at.
Dude,
she's gonna be feeling pretty Boyney later.
Yeah.
she's
Oh,
actually
right.
pretty good too. Like I do like she's over the top.
Mhm.
I don't like the accent sometimes, but like she's really good at it.
Did Richard and Gwen already go to the lighthouse?
No.
too? Okay.
No, sorry, they did. We skipped over
They
that
did.
part.
Okay, so they go to the lighthouse and there's like a little bit more shenanigans. He's still lying to her, even though he says, "I'll never lie to you again." Lies to her
Oh,
right away.
He tells like 4 lies in the next 30 minutes.
It's just like, God damn it, dude.
How's your aunt? Oh, she died. I don't even have an aunt.
All right.
What the hell?
I love when they throw him over the railing and the tide takes him.
Yeah.
And it's just like one little quick shot of the water rushing in, and that's it. Go to the lighthouse. They all get down, and it's successful. Start making out on the beach. The moment he slides in, it's so
And
fucking
his
funny.
he doesn't have sunglasses
Yes.
on, and he just goes. And he just and apparently he was on a board.
Oh yeah.
So supposedly there was like 4 crew members that had this long plank that they would like when the waves came in, they pushed him on it. And they were like underwater,
Yeah.
holding him there, going, "Oh, like hurry
Did
up!
we get it? Did we get it?"
the shot?" That's probably one of the best shots of the movie.
It's so funny. I
this is
laugh
so right.
hard.
This is so wrong. You deserve candlelight. You deserve music. We gotta go. Oh, and there's one other part too. The punchable face guy, one of the punchable face old guys, was on the couch. He was
Yeah.
the last one at the party, and he goes, "Oh no, are you dead too?" And they like,
What's
tap him.
wrong with this house?
He goes, "Oh, see you tomorrow."
Sorry for leaving so early. But
He does say that.
Who are these people?
It's the Hamptons, dude.
good God.
All right, so
Burn
scene
it down.
4. The next morning, after some shenanigans, they attempt to call the police, but mistakenly hear a voicemail where Bernie tells Paulie to kill them. Fearing the hitman is still out there, Richard and Larry make various attempts to leave the island, but ultimately they arrive back at Bernie's house. His face in the lawn chair
It's
with the cigarette in his mouth.
it's
Yeah.
so good.
The music's hi, ladies, and he waves.
So it was, this is one of like the improvised things that Andrew McCarthy did. It was Monopoly. He apparently brought Monopoly to set and would just like in between takes play with himself.
Just
because he liked Monopoly. Was it new at the time? I don't know. But it was his idea to be playing Monopoly with Bernie, and like this whole thing, like it was like stringing his arm up and everything like that. It was all Andrew McCarthy.
I have to think now to a certain degree, at least Larry and maybe yeah. I think both of them to some degree, but mostly Larry, he's going crazy a little bit. I think he's starting to believe in his own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's believing in it too much for himself.
He's having a little bit too much fun with it.
He's taking it too seriously. And by that point, yes, he's having too much fun with it. He's putting way too much into this. Why not just take Bernie, go take him up to his bed, throw him on there, and then he'd be like, I don't know, we haven't really seen Bernie ever since
we
this
saw him
morning.
last night. Everybody
saw him last night. You know, we were all just hanging out, having a good time.
His girlfriend was here. You can interview her.
Yeah, he was in bed. I mean, I guess we saw her come down, but we didn't see him come down. I don't know what happened. He must have been tired.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Another out.
But Larry Larry has not had enough. Larry has not had enough of being a cool guy on the island yet. He's not ready to give that up. He wants one more day of ladies coming by. Hey, Bernie, good party last night.
Yeah.
He wants that.
He's too stuck on the idea of like he's trying to get the like peripheral. I'll call peripheral pussy. You know, he's like Bernie. Everyone likes Bernie. He's just tagging along. He's like, well, something will trickle down to me. Don't you have a word for that?
We are actually assuming that Larry got some the night before.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Are we assuming that?
Because
He's in the room. Richard's like, Larry, we got it. Because after they come in from Richard sees him wash up on the beach, like,
Yeah.
Larry,
Oh.
I really got to talk to you.
Yeah.
And he's like, give me 30 seconds.
Yeah, and so either he
Yeah.
did finish, but he did go to other parties as well when
Yes.
Richard fell asleep. So
Okay.
I guess we can assume, maybe giving me a little bit too much credit, that he got another some.
We are assuming he got some.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right,
But he
fine.
wants more.
I
wants
love,
more.
I love fucking the fly swatter, dude. It's just smacking him with.
And this is really Terry Kaiser just sitting there getting hit with a fly swatter and not reacting.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's unreal.
Yeah. When they do find the tape, they listen to the voicemail, and this is one of my favorite parts is when they're like sex change operation.
Yeah.
And because it's like Larry wrote the note, assuming it was Larry saying, I'm going to get a sex change operation. And he's like, why couldn't he say that you were going to have a sex change operation? And this is where Jonathan Silverman doesn't get enough credit for his role, but he goes, Lair, no one is going to have a sex change operation. Ha! he does that weird little like
He's
noise.
just exacerbated about all of this anymore. It's just I'm just done with it. He's just saying noises at this point.
And Larry goes, oh yeah.
he can't take what's happening in front of him and like put it into a context that he wants to understand. Larry has to think about it how it personally is attacking him every single time. It doesn't matter what it is. How is this personally attacking Larry? How does Larry come out on top?
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and this is where an important part of the movie changes, because by Richard and Larry's standards, they don't know really what's going on. They are assuming that someone is out to get them.
Yeah.
But no one is out to get them.
Right.
And that's where that's a unique plot twist. And like, if they really knew what was happening, then like they'd be fine.
So that's why I enjoy the idea that this script is probably pretty fun to write.
Yeah.
Just like you're getting that's what writing a script is like literally problem solving the entire time. And so now like we have to have them find out. But what if they don't find out everything? What if they think it's just them, you know? It's super smart, and it just propels the story along, and it seems like it's like very, very natural, you know, because they are stupid nitwits.
They're stupid nitwits.
They're stupid.
You're
nitwits.
right.
Did you a little bit of the Rambo trivia?
Yeah.
The Ted Kochev is his name. Kochev. So Richard knocks out the bum employee that shows up, by the way, with some very nice puka shell necklace.
Yeah.
He knocks him out, and he says, you can come out now, Rambo. He says that in honor of Ted Kochev. But then George Cheung plays the gardener who comes in next, like, what the? And
Yeah.
they knock him out. He wears an exact similar costume to the one that he wore in First Blood Part 2.
Oh, wow.
He was in First Blood Part 2 as a villain.
Nice.
It's like, that's kind of a nice little, like,
I like that.
I think the Beach Bum 2 is Terry Kaiser's stuntman in this movie. I think they gave
Really?
him a role just because he was so integral to all of the things that this movie's about, pretty much.
you in
Yeah.
here, you bastard.
You bastard.
I do like when Bernie's still alive and he's kicking him in the butt. Get out of here. It's such a weird, awkward, like, yeah.
What do
yeah,
you? What
get
do
him.
you? So AJ, is this one of your like? This is kind of your comedy, but this is also in certain moments it's not. Where the first guy comes in, he's got the log,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Where are you at? What is that?" He ducks, and then does it one more time. Does that get to you? Is that kind of your gripe?
This is it's Tom and Jerry, man.
Yeah.
It's cartoons. It's a cartoon that's happening in real life, you know, to a degree. And yeah, it does definitely get to me. Like the whoa. Like all that was missing was a whoop,
Yeah,
like sound noise.
I
And
think
just,
it did kinda happen.
Yeah, and that's all that's missing from this kind of stuff. Oh, let's drag him down the way, and yeah, you're knocking people out. The conk noise, kong. Like, that's all it's missing from this, man. It's a little too cartoony for me, I guess.
I like it just because it's ridiculous, but
Yeah.
I definitely know how you could see that. But
I'll watch this movie in two different moods.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I'm trying to unwind and I'm just like, I've had a stressful day, this isn't the movie that's gonna make me be like, oh, life's all right.
no,
No.
what movie is that?
I
have
feel
to-
like this is the movie.
I know.
Not after the stressful day. After this, it's just I'm gonna be watching this being like, oh, God damn it. What else is on? I'm gonna change it like when I was a kid. But I am gonna have the time when it's like, you know, today's a fun day. I just need to, you know, we'll just kind of unwind. It's like,
Okay.
oh man,
Have some more fun?
That's pretty fun right there. Yeah,
Yep.
you know, I'll let that one go. Yeah, this is a fun movie. So
I honestly think this movie would be better with like a group. Like
Yeah.
I wish
Yeah,
I
yeah,
watched
yeah.
it with you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's fine this way, but
In the theater.
yeah, it would be so. It probably like
Yeah.
all of the shots where Bernie is just showing his face. I assume we would all just gut bust. You know.
It is the what year did this come out? 89. So we're
89.
coming up on what is that? 25, 35, 35
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
So maybe we can like organize some sort of in the theater 35-year anniversary party. You know what I mean?
It'd be fun.
oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Ooh, here's a prop.
Porsche golf cart. Fuck
Oh,
you guys. That's
Fuck
mine.
you.
That
God.
is such a like that alone makes a live Bernie Lomax punchable in the face.
Yeah.
But I want the Porsche golf cart. I want to show up at some stupid ass golf course and just be like, yeah, I brought my own golf cart.
I love that. I love it so much. I'm mad at
So
you.
great.
I don't. This is
There's
hard.
There's
as
not many
fuck.
props in this
I'm
movie.
gonna take all of the sunglasses that Bernie wears.
Because there are multiple.
Yeah, I want like a sleeve of them, you know, so I can just whip them out and pick one.
This is bullshit.
May I offer the toupee?
The
Bernie's toupee. That'd be kind of a fun one.
No.
No, I don't want any of it.
I will
You
come
don't
back.
have to have a prop.
I know. I
You
will.
don't have
I'll
to.
tell you what. I will come back on this. I'm going to blurt it out and interrupt one of you at
Cool.
some point in this show,
Okay.
and you'll be mad at me, but I'll feel good about it.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So, as a licensed boat captain, many of our fans may not know that
Whoa.
I have a certification that I am a licensed captain, and I can commandeer a vessel, and I can perform the vessel of its duties.
Captain Mike.
There are some things we got to do. Captain Ron someday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, there are some things that make me like as a kid. What you're doing is illegal. Like me and my family quote that all the time when they're in the marina. I used to wonder. I used to be like, well, what is he doing? What's he doing wrong? Is this guy just being a pompous asshole? But
Everything.
everything. He's creating wake. They're reversing. He's on the front of the boat. But the one thing that does bother me is they're doing the thing where Bernie falls off the back.
Yeah.
It's the thing AJ doesn't like, and he's getting towed around.
No man.
I love it
It's
so much.
the thing that bothers me as a licensed boat captain is they are on the green buoys, right? right?
Right.
So I'm just going to give a little bit of trivia to our friends out there. If you're ever in a channel and you're on a boat and you've got green and red buoys on each side, the way to determine which way to go and where to keep the buoys is red right return, which means keep the red buoys on your right when you're returning from sea.
Okay.
Which means that the direction they were actually going was returning from sea. So they were going the wrong direction. They were trying to go out to sea, but they were actually returning from sea.
I see.
So I just wanted to throw that out. So that's why this movie went from a 10 to a 0 for me.
Okay.
Fans of
'Cause
the
of that.
show, even fans who pay to listen to it, pay to listen to some extra content
Yeah,
and
there
get
you
some
go.
merch and everything like that.
Red right turn.
Once you're on your yacht like Mike has, you know now how to control things.
And return from
So
sea.
when you're pulling up and you're like, there's a red one, there's a green one, and you're returning from sea, put the red on your right side,
That's right.
and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So let's
had
talk about how funny this scene.
I had so much anxiety when they were in the harbor trying to get out and everything like that. It killed me. Like they were going full bore towards like boats, and
Yes.
I'm like that would destroy the whole. I don't know what it is. And then they knock the two fishermen off, and they finally get out, but Bernie gets caught and is tethered to the back. I love the wide shot of the two just like kind of chilling there, like, yeah, we finally got out, and he's just like,
Ding! See, this is so weird to me because I thought
I love it, dude.
AJ would have been like, this is comic genius gold, the best thing I've ever seen, and Sean would be like, fuck this movie. And we're literally reversed. I cannot
We're
believe
about
this.
and the
reversed.
fact that they took him off a ramp too. I'm just
This
like,
is
yes.
this was a real
It's
a
a
real
man.
real person. He got injured doing this.
Yeah.
He broke like 4 ribs doing
dude,
this.
and Bernie himself did so many of these stunts.
Yeah.
Not this one in particular, but Bernie got like
Yeah.
Terry Kaiser got injuries doing this. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dangerous.
They really showed him, like they really had him hit those posts,
buoys.
those buoys. They really had him hit those, and I get your complaint about like, what is that? What do you think that is? Like, oh, maybe
But
the
they
dead
don't-
body is
But
off
that's
of
the
the
best
boat.
part. They've never been on a boat, so they're like, "What the fuck are these?" They're like, "I don't know. Just go around them."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Have
they
you
don't
ever
know.
driven a boat? I was born on a boat.
But no.
Have you turned the key? Of course, I tried the key.
And that's the thing. It's just turn it back around. Like I can see this as a cartoon, and you just have Richard who's like, and then Larry. I don't know. Oh no! It's just like
Man overboard.
man overboard.
And they pull him up.
He's got
they
nice
pull him-
form.
They pull him up, and he goes, "Oh God, what? He lost my watch.
Lost my-
he lost my watch.
He lost
Like
my
in-
sunglasses.
Oh, my sunglasses.
I'm thinking
lost
to
my
myself like
sunglasses.
he's gonna be torn apart when they pull him back up. And
Nope, he's totally fine. Then they use him as a flotation device
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get back to
It's-
shore.
which reminded me of Jaws.
Yes,
the,
of course.
The 2 guys left at the end of Jaws. Spoiler alert. They,
Oh.
they
Yeah.
tow back
Sorry,
in.
Joey.
Yeah, sorry, man.
I do have my prop, and it is I thought
Ooh.
I thought it was going to be the Monopoly board. Now I'm going to go even more random. I want one of those weird couch things that Richard falls asleep on.
That was pretty
Oh,
cool.
okay.
It
I
looked
want
comfy,
one,
didn't
I
it?
want one of those things because I feel like I want that is just like I'm going to create a reading nook around that
There you
with
go.
books I'll never read because I don't read books.
Yeah, just to take Instagram pictures
Yeah.
around them.
It'd be audio books all around me.
Yeah.
But I want one of those things. That
It
he
looked like
falls
a hell
asleep.
of a pass out place.
I think that's a great little thing.
Yeah.
He had a couple of them in there, so
Yeah.
I love those things.
Nice.
There it is. There's my prop, guys.
All right, so final scene, everybody. At the house, Gwen confronts Larry and Richard, who confess that Bernie has been dead since their arrival. At that moment, Paulie suddenly appears and empties a pistol into Bernie's chest, then turns his attention to Larry, Richard, and Gwen, but the trio managed to subdue Paulie. The police eventually arrive to place Paulie under arrest for first-degree murder, and the movie ends.
So, AJ, tell me this. You don't think it's funny when he gets buried in the sand by a kid? Not the kid. He gets buried in the sand by the kid, and they find him, and they're vacuuming him off, and they vacuum his fucking face. You don't think that's funny? Come
Hey,
on,
okay,
man.
let me take it from here. AJ, you don't think it's funny that when Bernie's sitting on the steps and Paulie like moves his leg out of the way and the leg comes back and kicks him in the crotch and the music goes, "Ah!" You don't think that's funny?
It's just eye rolls to me. It's just eye rolls
so weird
to
to me,
me.
dude. This is so
I
weird
figured
to me.
you'd be totally into this movie, man.
It's like And and I'll try to. I don't know how to explain it, guys. I really don't. Like, because there is a fine line between this being incredibly smart humor and it being incredibly silly, stupid humor.
Yeah.
And this falls to this silly, stupid side that I'm like, that's not creative. That's just what you should be doing, you know? So that's where it comes. Like, it becomes this very, like, pretentious approach to it, I think, unfortunately. Where I feel like I agree with you guys. I'm like, I don't know why I'm not buying into this 100%. You know? I don't know why.
I will say I watched it 3 times, and the third time I'm like,
okay. Maybe I saw these parts on TBS too much. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the commercials were too close.
And this
I
is
don't know.
This is my first time watching it too, so I'm like, this is all new and funny.
See?
This is the kind of comedies I want to see made nowadays, but I guess maybe a little smarter. But you can't make them nowadays because it's just about the 2 guys trying to get pussy the whole movie. And, you know,
It's really what it is.
with a dead body.
They're putting the pussy on the pedestal.
Yeah,
See what they're doing?
it's right here.
Yeah.
This is just quintessential 80s to me, where it's just like the music is going along to them and they're escaping and they finally get him and they beat him, and it's like this was always just like, okay, like the movie for me was always up until about this point, and then it was just kind of like, okay, now we got to end this.
I do. The last funniest shot to me is when Paulie, the gangster, bursts in the door.
Yes.
And
Coronado.
yes, Bernie's just sitting there. Just like,
dude, you're absolutely right.
He unloads on him. He's just still.
I thought that was very funny.
and then they go, and Larry goes, company. And he goes, we didn't see anything. I'm blind.
I'm blind.
Because we know blind
get
people
that.
close their eyes and go like this. Yeah.
Like when Bernie falls over the deck and he falls onto Paulie, or the hitman. When he falls onto him, he's just like, Jesus. He's attacking him. Very funny to me. And then he thinks he's got him dead again, but then he's sitting there again, like.
Clearly, he is going to a mental institution.
Yeah, and when he walks in and takes the most last-ditch effort he can to just know he sealed the deal and just unloads 6 rounds into this guy's chest, and he's still probably not sure. That is very funny to me.
His whole arc and that, like, why won't he die kind of bit is
he's
really
alive.
good.
He's alive. He's in a straight.
Yeah, it is. That's the funniest part of all this to me, is the fact that he's worried that he's still not dead.
The crazy part that I never I'm sure this was so easy for like Sean to pick up on, but like as a kid I never picked up on the fact that this ties it in a bow. The police show up and there's gunshots in the man. That is how he died.
Yep.
This guy killed him.
Yep.
And there you go. It's like there you've resolved this issue that you have.
It's all taken care of.
Yeah, it was weird to me. Like I just never picked up on that.
I was meaning to say this earlier, but when we were like, is Larry a good friend? Yes and no. Probably more no. He's a Walter in The Big Lebowski.
Okay.
That's what I compared him to. I'm like, he's got the ideas and he makes his friend kind of go along with it all the time and gets
but
him
in
into trouble.
the end, like they really do want each other to do well and succeed.
And he put himself in front of his friends.
He did actually.
He put himself in front of his friends trying to like tie up again. Very cartoonish.
Yeah.
Oh, let's run around on the cords, wrapping him up. Oh, wait, what? Oh no, I'm wrapped up.
I do like the slapstick nature of like when they go up the spiral staircase. Paulie,
like Three Stooges, man.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. Paulie goes after him and he accidentally shoots his gun and then like hits his head on the railing when he gets up.
And
it's like
the music.
Like I don't know if that was on accident. It doesn't seem like it, but that had to have been like really rehearsed because it looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny, and then again. I never noticed this. I love our critical rewatches. At the very end, Bernie slides down the thing and and tumbles and falls, and they run away. And the kid comes over to bury him. The kid is wearing his first sunglasses that he had on.
Nice.
Is he
Because
really?
the kid took them. Remember,
Oh,
the kid took his weird little circular sunglasses and ran away with them.
Yeah.
When the kid comes back, he's got on those circular sunglasses.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I
I like that. I do like that a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Well, boys,
That's all I got,
it's
man.
time for our first segment, our first annual Pepper Joe's hot take. I've got a hot take for you. We are going to try some Pepper Joe's tropical habanero sauce. I've got it on a chip here.
Okay.
I'm going to ingest this hot stuff and tell you a very hot take.
Okay.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Hit it, buddy.
Habanero. hot
Godspeed.
sauce. There
Oh, you
Get that out of here.
son of a.
Uh-oh.
you go. Okay.
Go for it.
Okay.
Your face is turning a little
Here's
red.
my hot take. Terry Kaiser should have won an Oscar for Best Actor.
Okay, thank you.
Wow.
Not because the other nominated actors aren't amazing,
Okay.
but
Come on, man.
because the other nominated actors from that year could never have pulled off the role of Bernie Lomax.
Okay.
The comedic genius of Bernie Lomax, not only alive, but dead,
Mm.
was incredible. The face, the ability to stay still and lifeless, but also
Come on,
just
Daddy.
be one of the funniest parts of the movie. Here are the other nominated best actors from that year. Daniel Day-Lewis, My Left Foot. He won the award.
He
Oh,
won.
yeah.
He won.
Great actor, obviously, but with his method acting,
Yeah.
he would have to kill himself
Yeah.
to understand how to play this role.
He couldn't be it.
And in that movie, he only needed his left foot.
Yeah.
He would have taken it way too far.
Bernie
Yeah.
is his whole body.
Morgan Freeman driving Miss Daisy. Could you imagine a movie where Morgan Freeman did not use his beautiful voice? We love to hear his voice. He loves to speak more than we actually even love to hear his voice.
Right.
Morgan Freeman's not going to sign up for a role where he doesn't speak.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
can't go around the whole time going,
Tom Cruise, Born on the 4th of July. Robin Williams, Dead Poet Society. Tom Cruise, can you imagine a movie where he doesn't run?
Nope.
Can't do the role.
I think he's in a wheelchair for like 50% of that movie, too.
And he probably still ran at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, it would've been
Robin
too
Williams,
short.
can you imagine Robin Williams in his comedic genius, of sitting still?
Yeah.
Robin Williams could never have performed.
He's the most
a
animated
Yes.
person, comedic person out there.
Terry Kaiser. Bernie Lomax was the best actor in 1989.
Yeah.
That's a hot take, Mike. How do you feel?
Careful, don't touch your eyes.
Oh, no! That's a good
Careful.
habanero. Yeah, that was a little hot. Hot takes deserve hot sauces.
Hot
Thank you,
takes,
Pepper Jones.
baby.
All right, so we've dissected this movie with a modern eye. It is time to give a modern day rating. AJ, what do you think about this movie?
Come on, man.
There's some funny parts. You know what? This is going to be a really good example of getting to talk with, other people about it. And you want to watch this type of a movie, and this one I think especially, with other people who will keep an open mind. They don't have to have seen it or love it or anything, but have the open mind around you to appreciate it as it's coming to them. I do think it's funnier than when I was a kid. I think I'm getting along with it better. I like Andrew McCarthy obviously now than when I was, probably saw this for the first time. I think that some of the tropes are still there. It feels like a Three Stooges cartoon to me a lot of the time, but you can look past that in the idea of, the way that Terry Kaiser does put himself through this. That all being said, I think I'm going to bump up a little bit. I'm going to give you a 5.05.
Sean, what about you, man?
Yeah, I was just kind of taken with this movie. I'd never seen it before, and like I said, my kind of comedy. It's just ridiculous and is just takes place on not reality. There's nothing like in real life about this movie. I like all the performances. Andrew McCarthy and Jason Silverman. Jonathan Silverman.
Jonathan Silverman. We've got his name wrong a ton of times.
Yeah. I think they're great together. I think their chemistry is really good. Like Terry Kaiser, I think your argument is apt. I think he could have at least been nominated, at least maybe like a Golden Globe or something. And yeah, I think all the bits are really funny. Even on the third watch, like I said, it is like, okay, yeah, I could probably wait another year to watch this movie or something like that, or want to watch it with a group. And even talking about it in this episode is just like there's kind of the same scene over and over again, just different contexts. That being said, I Really liked it. I'm gonna say I'm a 6.85.
Okay.
6.85 for Sean. Obviously, I'm not a 9.5 as I was nostalgically, but this movie is just hilarious. Like it's so dumb. It's perfect. It's perfectly 80s for me, like late 80s. It's got comedy. And it's got weird scenarios and great acting and seriously, Terry Kaiser's incredible in this movie. And it reminds me still. It's hard to strip fully away the nostalgia because of what it reminds me of is watching it with the family and my grandma and stuff. So I'm a 6.8 is what I'm going to be. So just under Sean. So 6.23 is our group modern day rating,
I'm
which
happy with
is
that.
not huge. It is right above Heavyweights, right below Bloodsport.
Below Bloodsport,
Right below Bloodsport.
but above Heavyweights.
Yeah.
Wrong.
well, we're going to, I think we've determined. Hey,
No. No, I'm done.
We've determined that we're going to say that at our, let's say at every year, we each get to go back and change 2 of our ratings.
Okay.
So we're coming up on our 2-year mark. We each get to go make a couple changes.
It's almost not fair though, because it's like, well, if I have
Wait,
to
hold
turn
on.
my
Are
7
you-
into a 10, like,
Wait, no, hold on a second. What are you saying? You're saying that it should be better than Bloodsport?
it's better than Heavyweights.
It is better than Heavyweights.
Yeah.
We are better than Heavyweights.
I had it flip flop.
You had a flip-flop.
Oh, thank God.
Not as good as Bloodsport, better than
Oh,
Heavyweights.
man. Well,
Are you okay with this?
Bloodsport, I thought.
Wait, what did you give Bloodsport? Hold on a second here.
Honestly, go back and listen
I
to
bet I gave
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport higher than this.
Bloodsport was a very funny one. Let's just see what AJ gave Bloodsport. Okay. AJ, your modern day rating of Bloodsport,
Yeah. Yep.
you just gave Bernie's a higher rating than you gave your
Oh
modern.
my God!
You gave a 4.
You idiot!
You gave a 4.4 to Bloodsport and you gave a 5.05 to Bernie's. Well, while AJ is self-imploding, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you so much for being here. Tune in next Wednesday for another great episode. It's time for an I've Never Seen episode, which we have not done in a while. We're going to tackle Explorers.
Yeah.
And we follow that up with Happy Gilmore. It's been asked, Happy Gilmore, my God.
Oh my God!
And if you're new to the podcast, go back this time last year. We did a mini bite, nostalgic 90s drinks.
Oh,
It's a fun one.
It was a really fun one.
that has a pretty important tagline for our show.
Yeah.
Does it?
Damn dang it.
Oh, damn dang it.
Damn
Cool.
dang. That's a Capri Sun. That's your thought process while opening a Capri Sun, but punching through the back of it instead.
Damn dang it.
It's perfect timing, too, because like when I think of 90s snack drinks, I think of summertime.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's perfect timing.
Yep.
Fucking
Lots of sugar and
Surge,
yep.
Lots of Capri
Sun,
Suns,
Jones
lots of high
soda.
C, lots of Tang. I tell my Tang story on that.
Yep. My Tang story. Yeah. You
the
just
one tank story.
just orange shit. So just there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks. Goodbye.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Please stay in touch with us by following on all of our social media platforms at Confused Breakfast on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and Confused Be Fast on Twitter. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave a review on the podcast platform of your choice right now.
Also, we have merch. You know you want to rep the Confused Breakfast in public. Mugs, stickers, shirts, all kinds of goodies. Go to confusedbreakfast.com for a direct link.
And don't forget about our voicemail number, 319-804-9596. Links to everything you could ever need from us are in the show notes or at confusedbreakfast.com. This includes a way to follow all of us individually in our personal projects that we want you to check out. Mission of the day, tell your friends about us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.